4 and building A. So come on now.
Oh, she is.
Okay, weißt du, was wir machen?
Interview.
Genau.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So right now we're on our way, and we're almost there. Room 202. This is Miss Pelletier's room. In we go. Now we are entering Miss Pelletier's classroom. Come on inside. Hi, Miss T. So we'd like to ask you a few questions about how you became where you are.
As in teacher or what?
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where were you when you were my age, like around like junior year of high school?
I was living in West Hollywood with all of the Russian immigrants, because I was one too, and I was going to school at Pacific Palisades prior to high school.
And then, like, what were like you doing around that time? Like, what were like your interests?
That was the year, that was the most pivotal year of my life, I think. That was the year that I decided that dancing was not going to be a career that I was pursuing, because I was a pretty serious ballet dancer up until then. That was the year that I was taking my first AP classes, AP Language, AP US History, things like that. And so that was the year that I decided that I was going to be more academic focused rather than other interests.
And then, like when you were like my age, like what was kind of like some of the noise that you were hearing from like other people around you?
High school was a difficult time for me. Because English was a second language for me, I learned the conversational language really quickly, but I didn't quite realize that academic language took so much longer to be able to learn, and master. And so even though I was in an AP Language and Composition course, it was more difficult for me than anything else. All classes were more difficult for me because I didn't understand everything on the same level that everybody else did. And so prior teachers discouraged me from taking AP Language and Composition. My parents were always really supportive, but just my high school, much like La Piñata, everybody went to like Harvard and Yale, and that's where they applied, and UCLA and UC Berkeley, and I was just not that kid. I couldn't make straight A's, but I had to believe in myself regardless of that. So.
And then so now you're the AP Language and Composition teacher, and so like when did you start thinking about like becoming a teacher, and like why?
Exactly when you were your age. It was my junior year, AP Language and Composition. That was the year that I had a job since I was like 14, just because I needed to help my parents, again, immigrant parents and things like that. And that was the year that I decided I was going to start tutoring to make some extra money. And so I was actually tutoring math, and I was an AP Lang and Comp, and I loved it, and I loved I was tutoring a lot of jocks and things like that who needed like the extra help, and so just to like see them improve and be grateful that they improved because of the work that we were doing together was really fulfilling for me. But I was like, oh, maybe this is something that I would want to do. Maybe this is my calling. But I was so in love with AP Language and Composition because I felt like it was making a difference for me, not only academically, but me as in my development as a human being. And I felt like as a teacher, I didn't only want to teach skills, I wanted to teach what it means to be human. And so I made a decision junior year. So when I entered college, I already declared my major and I was done. So that's how I became a teacher by 21.
And so like the majority of this group were like juniors, so like we're gonna start thinking about like what colleges we want to go to, and like the stress of getting the like sufficient grades to like get into like college. So like what is your like advice to us about like just that pressure of like the pressure of going
because I was never the best in high school. I didn't feel like I had as much pressure, and I think that was the best for me. And so when I applied to college, I wasn't trying to apply to the most prestigious colleges and things like that because I believed that mattered. I applied to the places that suited me the best. I focused on how I learned the best, and I realized that for me, I needed a smaller setting. I couldn't be in a public, university with hundreds of kids, and all I was to a professor was a name on a page. That wasn't an environment that worked for me, and so I made the decision. I only applied to private colleges, and I knew that I was going to be in loans up to like here, but I made that decision, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I went to Loyola Marymount, not the top, university or anything like that, but it was the education that I needed. So my advice is get to know who you are, what you need, and choose a college based on what it is that you need as a student, not based on how you believe others will perceive you, based on your choice.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.